Alright, welcome back once again. In today's video, I want to show us how to cut our trouser and possibly the coupling processes. The essence of this video is to lay more emphasis on the cutting and the coupling for those of us that must have been a bit confused on previous videos I did on these coupling processes. So right now, I will take my time again to clear us on how to cut and then how to couple, and then I'll also emphasize more on how to derive your crouch and then how to cut your trouser without making use of your laps and your knee. Bearing in mind that in coupling is when you use your laps and knee to cut. You all know that there are different methods of cutting. At the end of the day, we all will arrive at the same effect or the same result. So the method I'm using now is not going to dispute other methods, neither is it going to make mine to be the best, no, but it's just to show you methods of cutting and how to go about it. So don't disregard your previous knowledge on trouser. Just try to see this and then learn, then compare the both, which one is easier and better. So I'll take my time now to explain all these things to us, and I pray at the end of the video we all will be able to do it with this method. So right now I have folded my material. This is how you fold with the wrong size. Now first thing you need to do is to put your 2 inches. This 2 inches is for your folding and sewing allowance. Now you mark your 2 inches. You extend the line properly, 2 inches, and then you mark your trouser length. The length we had on the board was 39, so 39. You mark your trouser length 39. So you mark your trouser length 39, and then you extend the line as well. So after the length, the next thing you're going to determine is your crouch. Then your crouch is gotten by hip over 4. Then his hip is 45. 45 over 4 is 11.25. And then I'm not going to make 11.25 as the crouch, reason being that he's not too tall. So I'm going to reduce a bit, half an inch. So 11.25 and half an inch, I'm going to have 10.75 as my crouch. So 10.75 is what I'm using for him because the length is 39. If the length was to be 40, I would have used 11 or 11.25 for him. So 10.75, and then on that line you apply your real hip, which is 11.25, that's 11.3, and then you mark 11.3, you mark, and then 2 inches addition, and then you come to the waist line. The waist is 34. 34 by 4 is 8.5. Mark, then extra 1 inch, and then you connect your waist allowance to your real hip. Your waist allowance to your real hip, you connect. I'll be very fast. Then from the hip line, from the crotch line, raise 2 inches up. These 2 inches is your real hips. And then from the intercepts, mark half an inch inwards this way, half an inch, connect with a curve. Connect with a curve, and then slant the trouser by half an inch. Slant by half an inch, then connect to this point. And then the pockets I'm going to use 7.5 on him. In my pocket is 7 inches. You choose to increase or reduce in accordance to your client's chest measure and with hip measurement or waist measurement. So upside I'm using 2.3 for him. And then the ankle is 14. And then the ankle is 14 by 2 is 7. So you mark at 7 for him. 7 for him. And then bear in mind that it's a fitted trouser. What you just have to do is you also mark 7 on top this way. 7 again. And then you connect with a straight line. Now you might ask me what extent is my marking. Then the answer could be 8 inches thereabouts. From the 2 inches you marked, 8 inches up is where you mark your 7.7, extend the line, and then with the help of your hip curve, you connect with your hip curve. Connect with your hip curve, and then seeing the fact that you have connected, this is how your basic your simple trouser pattern should look like. And then before you cut, you cross check your laps and your knee if they are inside your markings. The laps 22 by 4 by 2 is 11, it's inside. Then the knee is 16.5, roughly 17 by 2 is 8.5. So your knee and your laps are covered. You proceed to cut. But when your knee and laps are not inside the what you marked, it's either you extend your markings or you reduce your knee if your knee measurement was wrong. So this is the front bodies. I'm going to cut now and show you how to cut the back. So right now I've cut the back, and then I want to place to cut the front. So just turn it the other way around, and then make sure the back is 2 inches bigger than the front. From here, 2 inches all through, 2 inches all through, 2 inches all through. So right now, after you must have marked up 2 inches, you extend the line on the crouch, bring it outside to the back, and then you use your hip curve to connect the hip curve to connect, and then the back trouser is to be raised by 2 inches from the flanted point. You mark 2 inches up, raise by 2 inches. You bring out the line uprightly to this point. The raising is for you to avoid the issue of having a low waist trouser at the back. And then the waist area, you add maximum of 1.5. The minimum is 1.3, so I'm using 1.3. And then on the hip area, you mark 2 inches, and then make a curve. So this is for the back. So I'm going to cut, and then possibly next thing also we are going to show us is the components of the trouser and then the gummy processes. So right now I've finished cutting the back. Then I want to cut the components for the zip fly and then the pocket facing. So I'm taking my time to explain all this. So if you have any confusion, anything confusing you on trouser, I think this video should clarify you on that. So right now, the measurements of my zip stuff, my zip fly, should be from 2 inches to maximum of 3 inches. And then what I have left here is 2.7, maximum 3 inches. It should not exceed 3 inches. 2.7. It should not exceed 3 inches. And then when you mark it, you extend. You mark your chalk as well, sorry. Then you bring it out, and then this is for your pocket facing. Then the width should be more than what you notched on your trouser pocket, the upside. Remember, we notched 2.3 on the upside. So for you to have your pocket facing work properly, it should be more than 2.3. So if something from 4 to 5 inches is enough to serve as your pocket facing for the width, then the length should be above pocket depth as well. I have 11.5 here. Remember, your pocketing is 14 by 14, in some cases 13 by 13. So these measurements are what you have to know how to derive. Then you differentiate as well. And then the next thing we are going to cut now is the band of our trouser. Now this is for a plain trouser, and I'm going to make it an English trouser. So right now, what you have in here for the band is 2.5 width, and then the length will be your client's waist measurement by 2 plus extra 5 to 7 inches. So you mark the width of 2.5, extend the lines this way, and then when you come to this point, you try to make sure you have it done properly, and then you cut the band. Then the waist I have 35, 35 by 2 is 14, sorry, I'm 34, by 2 is 17, then plus 5 is going to give us 22. So 22 is what I'm going to cut. So you got a mark. And then after this band, the next thing you're going to cut is your belt loop. That's for your belt holder. So let me add extra in case. Let me add extra because I'm going to make it a longer band, a gentle band at the back. So, and then you differentiate the back as well. So next thing now is the belt loop. So the belt loop, for each belt loop is 4 inches, and then there are 6 belt loops in a trouser, making it 24. So 6 times 4 is 24. So the width is 1.5, then the length is 24. But in most cases, I like cutting more than 24. So I will have extra belt loop, should in case one gets missing before you finish cutting before coupling your trouser. So I'm going to usually have 28. 28 is what I normally have. Extra one, yeah, extra one. So you cut the belt loop. So the next thing now is your back pocketing. Your back pocket flap is 3 inches, and there are pair in a trouser. So 3 inches by, I'm using 7.5 here for him. 3 inches by 7.5. So 3 inches by 7.5 is what I'm using. So I'm gonna cut this into 2 pairs. That's 4 pieces for my back pocket. That's for the welt pocket, yeah. So this will not be enough. Okay, will it? Okay, you can. Let me manage this one. Yeah, I have to make use of good use of materials. So I'm gonna slit this one. So I'm going to make do with what I have. So this will serve for my back pocket, for my wet pocket, and then that's all for the trouser components. So the next step we are going to see now is how to gum and prepare this trouser.